Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Touching You Talk Show. I am Elder Sheila Black, and guess what? I have another very special guest with me. It's Councilwoman Nikki Hunter, representing District 3 in Arlington, Texas. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am so good, and it is such a blessing. I reached out to you and I asked if I could interview, and you graciously said yes. So I just want to thank you in advance for taking this time out to talk to us and tell us a little bit about you. All right, so where are you from?
I am born and raised in Arlington, Texas. Went to school here, raising a family here. I love Arlington.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Lamar High School. Before that, I went to the old Nichols Junior High that used to be on Cooper Street, and then Spear Elementary.
Nice, nice. So you a native Arlington person. That is
Yeah,
wonderful.
I
So are
am.
you married?
I am. I am married. We just took in three kids from Flint, Michigan. So we have a total of two teenagers and one 9-year-old.
Wow, it's never a dull moment at your home, right?
It's not. It's not at all.
So, like I said, you're representing Arlington, Texas. Tell me, like the zip codes. Do you have the zip codes memorized that you're representing?
Great question. So 76018 for sure. There's a little bit of 76002, and I believe there's 76006 a little bit. This district borders East Arlington all the way until you get down to Mansfield. So you can't till you're right out of Arlington.
Okay, all right, all right. So, what made you decide to become a city councilwoman?
Honestly, the main thing is I love the neighborhoods. I wanted to make sure my neighborhood was safe and clean. That was the thing that really made me decide that I really wanted to run for this seat. I wanted to make sure that all the neighborhoods over here in District 3 was had the opportunity to be safe and to be clean. I wanted to make sure we had roads. A lot of times I don't think our voices have been heard in the past in District 3. So I wanted to step up to the game and be the voice of District 3 and to make sure that we're getting stuff done over here.
Oh, well, you know what? Since I live in District 3, I just wanted to say thank you in advance.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So, what did you do before you became a councilwoman?
I and still am. I work full time as well as serve on city council. I work in healthcare management. When I ran, I worked at Cook's Children over in Fort Worth. Worked in the hospital setting as a healthcare management. I have since switched to United Healthcare, doing basically the same thing, except it's not in a hospital setting.
Okay, all right. So, tell me some of the things that you're doing, or tell me some of the things you've done in the past for Arlington.
Well, I love serving this community. So originally, I was on the Rotary Club, which we went around, did pretty much similar things. We helped anything, anywhere that we were needed, anywhere from doing food banks to serving international to serving neighborhoods. Really loved being in Rotary. I did that for a number of years. I've done cleanup events here in Arlington. I've volunteered at shelters. Anywhere that there's a need for me, I try to make myself available for this community.
And I noticed that you participated in the National Night Out, and I'm thinking, how in the world? Because I'm trying to figure out how did I miss that because I'm on like this neighborhood email distribution, and normally whenever something is going on, I hear about it. So tell me about National Night Out. What did y'all do?
That's one of my favorite things I think on city council is to get to go to the neighborhoods to meet a bunch of different neighborhoods. But it usually is in October, maybe about the first week of October on a Tuesday. A
Hmm.
lot of neighborhoods get together. They have something like a block party. So they barbecue, they might serve hot dogs, pizza, anything you can think of. But the neighborhoods get together for this meeting. The city council person, as well as our police department, fire department, they come out, they meet the neighbors, you address any issues that might be out there, and you assist the time to really meet and greet the person that's in elected office that you voted for or that's in the office.
And sometimes let's talk about how important it is to vote because a lot of times we don't think about the city council person. We think about the governor, we think about the president, but we don't think about the local leaders that are going to be affecting the community. So let's talk about how important it is to vote, know who you're voting for in the local areas. How does it work if you don't vote? Let's
That's a
start
great
right there.
question.
Let's start
Right.
right there.
Well, if you don't vote, your voice is not heard. You got to make sure your voice is heard by using your vote. Your vote is your voice. It is so important that we get out and we vote, especially in District 3. We want to make sure that our voices are heard. We want to make sure that we're getting our streets fixed, that we're that we're keeping our neighborhoods clean and things like that. You vote for that person that's going to be representing you in office. Whoever you vote for, it doesn't matter if you vote for me or you vote for somebody else, but get out and vote. I mean, it is definitely our right to vote. And I encourage anybody, especially young people, as soon as you turn 18, get out there and vote. I mean, that is your earned right to vote. And I think it's so important that we tell that to so many people, our youth, or our seniors. It's like, it's so important. It takes maybe what, 5 minutes of your time to get to the polls and to just get that vote out there.
So, what are some of the positions that we don't think about voting for? Like city councilwoman,
That's one.
you would think um, it's so important. Our city council person, I mean, they make what? Let me back up. So, the decisions you make for our community are, tell me about some of those decisions.
Definitely, city council is a very important position, especially for our districts. District 3 is a single district, so you want to make sure that you are putting someone in office. That person is going to vote for not just District 3; they vote for any vote that's in Arlington. I think a lot of people think, well, you're just voting for anything in District 3. I am voting for District 3, but I'm also voting for the whole city. So when we get up there and vote on Tuesday nights, it's usually for an issue that has to do with the whole city as a whole. But your council person that's in your single district, that's who's going to take care of your district. That's who's going to make sure things are getting done. If anybody's having problems, and here's the thing that I like to do, and I did it when I ran, and I kept my word, and I will continue to keep my word. I give out my cell phone number. I gladly give out my personal cell phone number that I've had for 20 years. I'll give it to you right now if you want me to. I tell people, you know what you can do? You call me if you have an issue that's not getting taken care of, if it's trash that's not getting picked up, if you're having, I've had people call me about the water bill, anything that you feel that I can help you with. If you've already called somebody in the city and it needs to be escalated up, use that cell phone number. Give me a call. That's my job. I work for each and every person in this district, whether they voted or not. I work for that person. So I want, and I keep my word. I said, if I am elected, I will take care of every single person in this district. And let me tell you something, I've done it for the last 2 years, and I will continue to do that as long as I'm in office.
That is absolutely wonderful. So, what are some of the other positions that we forget about that we should consider when we're voting?
I think definitely city council, but I think it's a lot of the local positions. I think people, they focus more on the higher up positions, of course, like president and maybe Congress and things like that. But we definitely got to make sure that we are voting for the local positions because those are just as important. Those are probably, I don't want to say more important, but they're going to be closer to things that are going on in your area, in your city, in your neighborhoods.
So, are the meetings open to the public? Do they have like open meetings? See,
They
that
do.
I'm learning myself what I need to be involved in. So, tell me about, do you have meetings that are open to the public where we can come and hear what's on your mind and what you're working on?
We do every we meet pretty much. It works out to where it's every other Tuesday. It's open to the public. We have afternoon sessions that are during the day, and that's also open to the public. And then we have evening sessions that usually happen about 6:30, which is also open to the public on there. Now, in our afternoon sessions, I will tell you those are mostly discussions that we do have. So anything that's going to be discussed will be discussed in that meeting. The evening meetings are usually where we go ahead and vote on items. So you'll see us voting on various items, whether it's development or whether it's something very specific to the city or even your neighborhood on there. That's going to be the evening settings. But I invite anybody to come out and just watch one of the meetings. You don't have to stay the whole meeting, but just kind of see what your city council person is doing. There's also a part at the very end of the meeting for citizens participation. You get about 3 minutes. So let's say you're having something going on your street that you're unhappy about or that you just want to let us know. That's your time to have your voice heard. Come out, let us hear what you have to say. What makes my day, and I'm gonna tell you this last meeting that we had this Tuesday of this week. I had a student from Martin High School that watched the meeting. She stayed the entire meeting. That made my day to see our youth that's that interested in politics, that interested in what's going on in their city, in their neighborhoods. I love seeing that. I really do.
So, I wanted to ask you about, and I didn't pre ask you about this, but I wanted to ask about panhandlers. And I noticed that here recently we really haven't had any. So, did something happen where, the panhandlers are not allowed in Arlington?
They are still allowed. There's some very specific rules on panhandling. Now, I know we're both in District 3, so you might mean a specific area off of 360, kind of that area, which is where we saw a lot of the panhandling at. I think they're still there, just maybe not as much. They may have moved on to maybe other parts of Arlington on there, but our rules and regulations are very specific to what we can and cannot do with panhandling.
So what are those rules?
One thing is we can't tell somebody that they can't panhandle in a certain area. Like if they're not on private property, like on that street on 360, we can't tell them they can't be there. We cannot tell them
Hmm.
that's not for us to do.
I see. I see. I see. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And I once before I had asked a police officer about it, and he said you would be amazed at how sometimes some of the people are actually making some pretty good money panhandling. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like whatever you got to do, I guess, right?
yeah. Times are hard. They're very hard.
Absolutely. So what else? What else is the city council doing that you would like to share with us?
Well, right now we're working on a lot of things. As you guys have probably heard, we definitely are working on garbage issues. We're trying to update the contract on that. As you know, and I think we're going to talk about this soon. Tomorrow, we're definitely planning a big health fair for our community out here. For anybody just wanting to go out and get services on there, I'm super excited about that because that's definitely serving the people, not only in District 3 but in Arlington. Anybody that needs the services.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those services. Is this the event that will be at the Bob Duncan Center?
Yes, ma'am. That event, it's the Breast Cancer Awareness Health Fair, very first one we've had over in District 3 in Arlington. We will be offering first come, first serve mammograms and well womans for anyone that's needing those services, any women. But we don't want to just say it's for women because men can come as well because we will be offering vaccines. So for anybody that's needing flu vaccines or if you choose to get a COVID vaccine, if that's something that you choose to do, we're offering that as well. Plus, there'll be a lot of educational tables that you can stop by. We have several different participants that's joining. I'm so excited to have just to name a few. We have JPS, we have Mansfield Methodist Hospital, Tarrant County. What is it? Tarrant County Public Health that's going to be doing the vaccines, as well as Texas Health Resources. Those are just to name a few that's going to be there.
So will they be doing the boosters as well?
They will. They will do the boosters. And I will add that our Arlington Fire Department will also be giving vaccines as well. So we're going to have several areas that you can go to and get vaccines. We're going to have plenty. So if anybody's needing that, please come on out.
That sounds like fun. So do you have any events planned for the end of the year?
Oh,
Are
I do. I do. I'm going to do a cleanup over in District 3 soon coming up. It's going to be near the Cravens Park area. I've
Mhm.
done some near Bowie as well. We have an amazing new principal at Bowie. Definitely going to be working with him to see if we can continue the tradition of doing cleanups. What we do is we invite our students out to help us with the cleanups. We're going to continue that tradition over near the Bowie High School area. Definitely wanted to, in my district, we have Sam Houston, Bowie High School, Timberview, and Seguin. So we have four different high schools. One of the things I did when I first got elected is I wanted to make sure I met every single principal at those high schools. And one of the reasons I do that is because I believe in volunteer work and I believe in students getting credit for their volunteer work. So I wanted to talk with the principals to say, hey, we are going to plan cleanups for our neighborhoods. If you would like to be involved, would you be willing to offer the students credit for it? And a lot of them, they have like their booster clubs and areas where they can offer volunteer credit. So that was one of the things that we did. Bowie, like I said, does have an amazing new principal, Principal Jones. I'm definitely going to have a meeting with him and see if we can have a cleanup by Bowie as well soon.
That's wonderful. So is it for all of the students, meaning freshmen all the way up to senior, or is it a certain age group that can participate in the cleanup?
That I'm not sure. I know in the past we've worked with, I believe it's the Booster Club they call it, and the Key Club. So I'm not sure what age groups that they are, but I know that they do have to get sign up sheets from their parents on there. So that would probably be something I can get from the principal, and once he sends that out, he can send that out to everybody.
Wonderful. So do we have anything planned for the holidays like Christmas?
Not so far, but there's one event that I love to do on Thanksgiving, and I know a lot of people do know about Mission Arlington. So on
Mhm.
Thanksgiving morning, the tradition has been since I've been in college, and there's several people in Arlington because there's thousands that show up. We go to Mission Arlington, and what we love to do is Halloween. It's flashing. What we love to do is we love to volunteer to pass out the turkeys. To me, that's something I've done since I was a student at UTA. Each year I go, it's amazing how many more people are out there volunteering their time on Thanksgiving morning. And it's like I encourage people, if you have time on Thanksgiving morning, it's a great event. You can take the whole family out there, and just really they can always use the help passing out the turkeys to Arlington and surrounding cities on there.
So how much time does it take? Is it like half day, or is it an hour,
I
or
think with
just
us,
it?
yeah, with us, we're usually done by noon, to be honest with you. Now you can stay longer if you have time, but we usually do that one round and then we come home and we cook. So I think it just depends on how much time you have. If you want to stay the whole day, you certainly could, or if you want to just do that first round and then come on home and cook and spend time with your family, you can do that as well.
That sounds like fun. I think me and my son may have to come out and do that with you.
Yes,
Thanksgiving. That
please.
would be great. That would be great because I normally don't cook on Thanksgiving. I usually go to someone else's house.
I understand. I understand. I
I
understand.
should have the time to actually do that.
Well,
So
come on out if you have the time, please. If anybody wants to come out and join us, I should probably put a Facebook post up and invite, District 3, anybody that wants to come out. You're more than welcome. We can do it as a team. It'll be a great bonding experience.
wonderful. Well, I'm super proud and super happy to know you and to get to know you and to know that you're representing my neighborhood. So let's talk to someone who may be interested in going into politics. Maybe it's somebody scrolling through, but yet they're operating in fear. Maybe they're afraid. What would you say to that person that's scrolling through that's like on the edge thinking, should I or should I not?
Exactly. I think, if your heart is telling you that you want to be in politics, you can do anything that you put your heart and your mind to. Originally, I was not a politician. I was just a hometown girl that was working, volunteering for the community. I love the community, doing, working at the hospital. Politics, if it's in your heart to do it, you can do anything that you put your mind to. So come
Right.
on out and do it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now we were talking earlier previously, and we talked about how you are a believer. So let's talk about your walk with Christ. I mean, when I met you, it's like we instantly connected, and it's like I already knew you. So let's talk about your relationship with God.
Definitely. I'm from a young child. My grandparents, I was raised partially by my grandparents, and one thing that we did every Sunday as a family, as we have always went to church on Sundays. It's something that has been instilled with me to respect the Lord Jesus Christ, to make sure that I'm reading my Bible, to make sure I'm treating people the way that the Lord would want me to treat. Even in politics, I make sure that I am being the person that I need to be, that the Lord wants me to be on there. I think it comes down to our faith. Everybody, not everybody's going to have the same faith, but I'm going to tell you something. Just believing in that Bible, I think just doing what the Lord has put us on this earth to do. And for me, my purpose is to serve the people. I think that's what the Lord put me on this earth to do, is to be a servant. I have a servant's heart. I always have, always will. And I think I'm doing the Lord's work.
And I totally agree.
Thank
I
you.
totally agree. Well, I mean, do you have any other parting words you would like to say to us before I let you go?
I just want to say thank you for having me on your program. It's really my pleasure to meet you and to be able to speak to your audience on there. If anybody from District 3 is listening, I would like to say if you're having any issues with your neighborhoods or if you need me for anything, you can reach me at 817-456-4200. That's my cell phone number. I do answer it. If I, for some reason, don't answer, I will call you back. I think it's important as your elected official to make myself as transparent and available as I can. I work for you guys, and you should be able to contact me at any point.
Well, I certainly do appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you are doing in Arlington. And whenever you have an event that you would like to promote, I'll be glad to post it on my webpage so that everyone can see what we're doing here in Arlington. And I want to thank you for taking this opportunity for me to meet you and see what you are doing for our community.
It's
So,
my pleasure.
everyone, thank you so much. So this has been Touching You Talk Show with Elder Sheila Black and Councilwoman Nikki Hunter. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye
Thanks.
bye.